Hello, everyone, and welcome to lesson 2. Start budgeting. Start budgeting, guys. Here we are. We're at the point in time that you have been wanting to get to. We are learning to budget. We are going to figure out how to get you from where you are now to where you want to be. The number one tool of somebody who is trying to get out of debt is that budget, is figuring out where you actually want to be. So if you don't remember, my name is Catherine Vanderlaan. I am a financial coach at Savor Street, savorstreet.com. And we are all about getting people out of debt, getting people to make more money, pay down their debt, decrease their financial risks in their life, and be financially free. So here we are. Lesson 2. Let's start budgeting. Let's figure this out, guys. All right. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Start budgeting, the ultimate guide to paying off debt and never getting back in debt again. So before you start this lesson, you should have a few things. You should have your vision written out and visualized. You should have the step you're on in the steps to financial freedom. You should know that. And you should know the beginning. You should be beginning to track what you spend. So if you are not doing the homework while you're going through this course, you are not, well, you should stop. You should stop and go back, do the homework, come back after you've done some of the homework, because I'll tell you, you need to be doing it while you're doing this. If you are not doing your homework while you are taking this course, the course isn't going to go well for you. So please do your homework, take this seriously, and be the person that you want to be. Okay, be the person who's going to get out of debt, who's going to pay down every single one of them and be financially free. So all right, that's it. That's my disclaimer. Please do the homework, do it in order, do it now if you haven't done it yet. All right. What is budgeting? What is budgeting? Budgeting is understanding where your money is going, then making a plan for your money to get to where you want to be. Let me say that again. Budgeting is understanding where your money is going, then making a plan for your money to get to where you want to be. All right. So as you're budgeting, you might come to this and say, why budgeting? Why should I be doing this? I hate numbers. I hate budgeting. Can I do this any other way? No, you can't. If you don't know what's happening to your money, how will you get to where you want to be? If you don't know where it's going, how are you going to take those dollars and tell them to go somewhere else? You have to know what you're doing first. All right. So remember your goal, guys. It is either 0, catching up on essential bills, or number 1, saving up your $2,000 starter emergency fund, or number 2, paying off all of your consumer debt using a debt payoff method, right? That we'll go into that. First, let me tell you how I learned to budget. It's not a very nice story, but it's real. It is my story. And for all of those who maybe can't hear me or don't want to listen here, I put it on the screen. So I graduated from college with $36,000 of student loan debt, and it didn't actually hit me. I don't know if that's like you, but it didn't hit me. The payments didn't hit me until 6 months after, because there's that 6-month grace period. Well, during that period, I got a temp job, and then I got my first full-time job making $31,000 per year. And my parents thought that I had made it. They were so excited. I was the first one in my family to graduate from college, and they were ecstatic. They thought I made it. Their little girl is going to do good things in the world. It was really exciting. And then my father said, "Hey, the car that we let you borrow for all of college, we have to give that to your sister. So you're going to have to go get a new car." Now, I didn't know anything. He walked me down, or drove me down to a car dealership, and we negotiated for my first new car and my first car loan, my only car loan. So I walked out of there with a brand new $27,000 car loan. The next month, both my car payments and my student loan payments came due. I freaked out, and I decided to learn to budget. Now, I wasn't calling it budgeting then. I just called it my cash flow sheet. I had no idea what I was doing. And just so you know, that wasn't really the end. You'll hear more of my story later when we get into priorities, but staying mentally and physically healthy, because I sacrificed friendships, I sacrificed my health, and I literally became malnourished. I don't know if you've heard that part of my story yet. I started losing my hair and my memory, but None of that suffering was necessary. None of it was necessary. And I don't want you to go through any of that. Okay. It was really, really difficult. I had literally $850 left after my debt payments to pay all of my bills. And that shouldn't happen. That should not be what you do. It shouldn't have been what I did. But here we are. I was in a terrible situation. I had 20 debts. I was trying to get out of debt. I was trying to budget and I didn't know how. Now I do. And that's what we're going to discuss. Okay. I want you to know that you can do this. If I can do it on $31,000 a year with over $60,000 of debt and over 20 individual debts, you can do it too. If I've helped people pay down hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt in the last few years, hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt, one person. Okay, you think I'm exaggerating. I'm not. If I've helped them, I can help you. If they can do it, you can do it. So let's do that. The first step is a budget, a good one. Not that crappy little one that I had when I was 20 some years old and was first starting my cash flow sheet. No. We're going to give you a good budget. We're going to skip years of suffering. Okay. I have coined my budgeting term, my budgeting process, bottom line budgeting. It is all about using your bottom line, what you have left at the end of the month, maximizing that and using it towards your goal. So whether that is catching up on your essential bills, building that starter emergency fund, or paying down your debt snowball, we are going to do this bottom line budgeting process. There are 3 steps to it. Number 1, review what you spent last month. You have to know what you spent in order to know where you're going. Okay, you just have to. Number 2, decide what you want to spend this month and then review your decisions against your goals. So you might notice review, decide, review. 1, 2, 3, review, decide, review. That's it. Those are all of the steps. Review what you spent last month, decide what you want to spend this month, and review your decisions against your goals. Are your decisions getting you to your goals or not? Are they getting you there quickly? What else can you do? We're going to be exploring in this whole course all of the different options there are. We're going to blow your mind, understand how you can be making more money, what you can do to maximize your budget, how you can stick to your budget. And it all starts here. Review, decide, review. Do you want to see what it looks like? Of course you do. Stay with me. This can be overwhelming. It's a worthwhile step-by-step process, okay? This is the bottom line budget. It's called, well, have you ever saved something final version and then it's final version V2 or final version 2, 3, 4? Well, this is my this is that. It was the simple budget, and then I changed it, and now it's the enhanced simple budget because it includes a debt snowball. Okay, we're going to walk through this. So here we go. Review, decide, and review. And then there's a little bit of extra, and we're going to get to that in a future lesson, tracking. So review, decide, and review. Here we go. Don't worry about all of the different, we're going to make this super simple, okay? So the number one thing that you have here, number one box, that is your income, okay? Now let's see, I'm just going to do this with you, kind of a little quick here. We're going to put a few things in so you can see how it works. If you have a W-2 income, that means they take your taxes out. Then you put that in here. If you have a 1099 income, so that means they do not take your taxes out, then you put that in here. So things like owning your own business, driving for Uber, any of those gig jobs, it goes in this line over here. And that's because you need to take taxes out for yourself. So down here, post-tax income, pre-tax income, any other types of income like FMLA, that's short-term disability, insurance payments, things like that. That goes over here. Unemployment, anything like that. That's a little extra, a little off. It goes down here. Not off. It's not like wrong or anything. It's just different. It goes down here, and then we can treat it differently. All right. The second box is your expenses. So in this column, you put what you spent last month. Now, a lot of people have mortgage or rent. I including property taxes and insurance here. So include property taxes and insurance here, that sort of thing. So I put all of these things. Now, this is your budget. And what I mean by that is it is entirely flexible. It's what you spend, not what other people spend, not what you think you should spend. It's what you spent, okay, in this column. So if you have some sort of expense, I put almost everything that I could think of in here. Everything that I've seen so far, I put in here or made flexible accounts. So some of my older clients have a kids visit fund. Their kids live in other states, and so they want not just, it's not really a vacation sinking fund. That's not what they call it. It's a visit my kids fund. So that's down here, but you can change it. So once you've gone into the homework and you've clicked the little thing that says copy the budget to copy this budget or copy the simple budget, something like that. When you've clicked that button, it will copy this over to your Google account. Yes, we're using Google. No, they're not going to steal your information. They wouldn't have a business otherwise. So they'll look at it maybe with their computer eyes, but it's fine. It's fine. Nobody's going to care. And you're not putting any information that anybody wants to steal in here anyway. So go ahead and put in things like, all right, if this were me and my husband and me, we would do, let's see, our pre-tax income, because we take our taxes out and send it to the government every quarter. Let's just round the two of us together. And sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Just, just really depends. So then we have our taxable income here, and I changed that. That's overpaying our taxes. It's okay. We can have a whole debate about that another time. And then we have all of these different categories. So it's what we spent last month, right? And usually it will not be a flat amount. So if I see a lot of zeros in here, I know it wasn't true. I know it wasn't right. So that's for a year. That's what it cost me for an entire year of my phone bill. Anyway, so the idea here is to put everything you spent in this category. And then here at the bottom, it'll say, okay, what are your total expenses? And what's your income minus your expenses? This is your bottom line. This is what you have left for your goals. So you go through the whole thing just to see a snapshot of what you're doing, how much income you're taking in, how much you're spending. And then you go through and you put in, what should we be taking in an income? What should we be spending? All right. And you go through this whole process again with an eye toward what should we be doing. So number one, you put in, all right, I think we can make $8,000 this month. And that's pre-tax. So there's our tax calculation. I don't think our housing is going to change very much. I don't think our internet is going to change very much, and et cetera, et cetera. So, hey, but we're not going to spend anything on our cell phone, but I do like to annualize it. So what I do is I just put a little calculation in there. This is just to show you how people usually start. So I annualize it. This is how much I pay per month for my phone bill. And then we go through and you just pop it all in there. The idea here is you want to see if you're over or under, how much you have left and how much you're in the negative. Then you'll know what to change. So that is why it is review what you spent last month, decide what you want to spend and review it against your goals. It's going to tell you what to do, how much to spend, where you're overspending and where your spending might not align with your values. But we'll go into that in another later on. I also want to show you something else. I want to show you this debt snowball. So you might have noticed down here, come on down, follow my cursor. Down here, there's a debt snowball sheet. This is your master debt snowball. Okay. This is what you can use to figure out how much debt you have, what your debt snowball should look like. you should only be putting anything, you should only be typing into this white box in here. Everything else is an auto calculate. So let's say you have a Visa credit card, let's say you have a car loan, and let's say you have student loans. All right, your balance on the Visa is 12,300. Your car loan, let's say you're me, from 50, a long time ago, and you have a balance on your car loan, your rate, and you have some normal rates that I've seen around here, and you have student loans. Okay, real numbers, real numbers. All right, let's say you have your minimum payments here. Okay, you see how it's thinking and it's putting stuff down here over time. Your minimum payments here, let's say this one's, I'm just making up numbers at this point. That looks about right. So now you're seeing your total loan payments here are $884. And you're seeing down here, it's calculating. See this B? All right, there's a B here, a C here, and a D over here. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? See this? B, C, and D. This is how you're doing last month. So you have your initial snowball. That's actually, notice that number is the same as this number, okay? So what it's doing is it's telling you if you were to use all of your quote leftover dollars to put on your debt snowball, this is how long it would take to pay off your debt snowball. Now, let's say you had more leftover dollars to put toward your debt snowball. Well, it's just shaved off some time. So this is the power of this debt snowball tool. Only, this is very key, very key. Please don't leave. Only use B. Only put your information in B. You'll notice, and I didn't do it by magic, it carried over here and it recalculated. And this one carried over here and it recalculated. This is your master debt snowball B. Okay, so only put your stuff in B. Right. So here we go. That's it. That's it on that one. In that budget, while you're in it, there's a huge category called fun money. There's a big category. Eating out is in there, your subscriptions are in there, your gym membership is in there. There is a very big category that I call the fun money category. When people start budgeting, the fun money category tends to go one of two ways. Either they will trim everything out of fun money, almost everything. Some people keep Amazon Prime, or they keep nearly everything in fun money. They go, well, I can't stop. People count on my HBO Max membership. I can't stop going to the gym. I really like my personal trainer. Oh, if I stopped eating out, I'd lose all of my friends. That is a whole lesson in here. Don't worry. I want to tell you, neither way works. Neither way works. If you take everything out of your fun money, you are going to starve yourself. Not literally, but you are going to rebel. Your whole being is going to rebel against this process, and you're going to come back and tell me it doesn't work. Or if you keep everything in your fun money budget, you're not going to have enough money to save up to have your cash flow fund, to pay off your bills. You're not going to have enough money, not funny, money to actually work this process. So unless you make a ton of money. But even then, I have worked with people who make $500,000 a year and they have a ton of debt and don't keep track of their fun money budget and end up just blowing it. So even then, it's not going to work. Have you ever been on a diet and tried to cut out everything you enjoyed? If you're like me, then you've tried a few diets. You've tried keto, you've tried a restriction, you've tried to stop yourself from eating all of the things that you love that you're gaining weight eating, right? It's an epidemic in the United States. We can just say that. Or how about this? Have you ever been on a new exercise circuit and tried to do every exercise at the expert level from the beginning? Does it work out? No, it doesn't. It doesn't work out. You can't do it. So here's what I'm trying to tell you. All right. Keeping your fun in moderation is the key to successful budgeting. Keeping your fun in moderation is the key to successful budgeting. If you are starving one area of your life so you can pay off debt, it's not going to work. It's not. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of people now. It's not going to work. Please just trust me. I once tried this diet and I lost a lot of weight on it. I tried to basically stop myself from eating all dairy and all chocolate and almost all sugar. All right. It was like keto, but it was slightly different with a lot of fruits and vegetables. And I'm still doing a lot of that, but I've reintroduced some of the other things because what I found was I would cut everything at home. And then when I went out, I would gorge myself on the things that I couldn't eat at home. And it became this location based thing. Well, let's not do that with your money. Okay. Let's not do that with your money. It didn't work. It doesn't work for diets and it doesn't work for money. If you are budgeting with a spouse, so if you are sharing money, then your fun money category needs to be agreed on with your partner. So you need to agree on a total amount of fun money and then divide that up into what you'll be free to spend it on. It's actually pretty freeing. We covered in this lesson the bottom line budgeting process: review, decide, review. We covered setting up your budget and your debt snowball, and we covered fun money. So, as you're going through this, please realize, and some people that I work with, some people I work with are professed perfectionists. Is that you? Raise your hand. Are you a perfectionist? Do you want to do something perfectly? Well, it doesn't work in the gym. It doesn't work with dieting, and it's not going to work with budgeting. Okay. So, if you are a perfectionist, I'm here to tell you, and this is extra homework for you. You need to start. Start and do not assume that it's going to be perfect. You'll get to that perfect budget, but it'll be about a year away. You'll get to a really good B plus budget in about 3 months. But right now, you're heading for a C, and it's going to be okay because this is not something that you're going to be graded on. Your budget, reviewing what you spent last month, that one you can definitely perfect. Getting into and deciding what you're going to spend this month, it's going to be okay. Tracking that and keeping to it, you're going to get a C. Your first month, you're going to get maybe a 70, 75. Okay. It's going to be okay. So go ahead, start. If you're holding back, you're in this course and you have debt and you don't know what else to do, go down there and click on the homework. Build your budget, review, decide, review. Set up your debt snowball. You need to know how much debt you have. So go in, look at it. Set up your debt snowball. Then decide how much money will be in the fun money category. If you are married, that is a discussion between you and your spouse. If you are not married, come to group coaching. Okay, we're going to do that together. We can talk about it. And people have all different ways that they handle it. And I'll tell you what, different things work for different people. Then start tracking your budget in the budget sheet. One of these future lessons is all about tracking your budget. Okay. It's going to get easier, but start now, even when you don't know how. Okay. Start now, even when you don't know how. So now you're getting more sophisticated in your budgeting. You're reviewing what you're spent. You're deciding what to spend. You're reviewing it against your vision and goals. Is it getting you to where you want to be? That is the big question. Is it getting you to where you want to be? So before you start the next lesson, here's what you should have, because I don't want you starting the next lesson until you've done your homework. You should have your budget started. You should put what you spent in the first column, then what you decide to spend in the second column, then track what you are spending this month in the third column. You should also have an agreement on what you will spend in fun money this month. Okay. Remember, in your first 6 months of this course, and you have 2 group financial coaching sessions every single month. Go to them, ask your questions. It doesn't matter if you have all the information. Nobody ever does. Come and ask your questions. People have been where you've been. They want to help you. I certainly do. So come as you are. Come with the questions. There are no stupid questions. Come talk about budgeting, talk about where you are, ask the questions you have, and continue on the course. Now go do your homework, guys. I'll see you in the next lesson.